Senegal. Well, let's see how those people are doing. One weird thing, I don't know exactly why they have this square here, how that important it is, but Google seems to be like, they say it's important. So yeah, that's the first time I see a square like that there. But population here, it's around 19 million people and rising, as you can see. But let's see how those people actually live. And the position is quite nice, I would say. I mean, opening to the Atlantic Ocean, it feels already much more privileged. But let's see how they're doing. Well, they're doing pretty well, at least in a street view department. So let's check them. Let's see how nice it is. And we're gonna start here in the north, in those remote village. And wow, it is something, that's for sure. This is from 2015, so 10 years ago exactly, November 2015. Well, not sure exactly how the employment rate is going here, but doesn't look that well. I like the using station wagon, and this is a really good Mercedes. I mean, look at this, how nice it is. It's kind of sad in a way. See those Mercedes, which was like a peak of the German engineering, having a tough life here. But they're a tough car, I guess that's why they have it there, but they deserve a much better one. Now, look at this garbage here. Yeah, it's such a classic one. Just nobody wants to take those away, even though it's in front of your house. Yeah, it's that's the sad part. The road doesn't look so great, but at least it is a road, which is pretty good, I guess. Again, the garbage, absolutely insane. And we have a donkey here. Oh no, it's a horse. Doesn't look that well. Doesn't look that well fed, but at least they're doing the work with them. They sell some sort of the vegetables here, the fruits. I mean, it's not exactly the worst thing, but with such a few small tweaks can get even better, especially if they collect the garbage. How they live, yeah, a bit jamming together everyone, not that much trees. They have the river, which is good, but they could done a much better job, that's my opinion. They have some sort of a highway here, which I am interesting to see. And is looking very good. This is from May 2022. The car feels familiar. No police car, by the way. They're looking very good, this highway that they have here. They have some sort of a village side of them. That's an interesting car. A goat again. They like goats here. This is someone just traveling, I guess. Another guy. I mean, they have some garbage, which I pretty much hated, but I guess it is what it is here. Wow, that's an interesting way of traveling, I guess. Look at the windows. They are made of plastic, not even glass. Yeah, they're looking bad. But again, a Mercedes, that just shows back then Mercedes used to do absolutely unbeatable cars. It's just, you can run those without, I don't know, without oil, without coolant, without gas, for God's sake, and they're still running. That good they used to be. Unfortunately, it's not the case anymore. But yeah, the road looks absolutely impeccable. So let's check him. I mean, look at this. It's absolutely huge road. Let's check him just down here. It's a big country too. That was a really good investment. I mean, look at this. That's absolutely impeccable. Good for them. They've done a really good job. Hopefully they have no speed limit here. You can travel as fast as your vehicle can take it. And even this house here, I don't know, it's in the middle of nowhere. As we can see, it's pretty much nobody around. And they still have a fence and bars on the windows. So yeah, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. If it's not a prison, it's not a good sign. Yeah, looking pretty bad in that department. If they didn't have the fence, which I think is point. Look at how material they used here. You can build pretty much another building, almost another building with that material. And also those bars, they didn't have it. You can almost, I think, can build it. It's not another one as this size, but half of this size, you can build another one. So that's a waste of material just because you have a high crime rate, I guess, in the country, which is kind of a sad because, like I say, it's a waste of energy, of time, of resource. Wanna check this guy on the motorcycle. We have, look at this, a nice bike. They're using helmets, which is kind of a pointless in my opinion, but okay. And then garbage here. The garbage is absolutely insane. And here in Europe, they say we produce a lot of garbage and we live like filthy animals, but not sure exactly when you check those images. Let's see how those people live in this small area. Well, they don't have paved roads. This is again 2022. I guess with time they're gonna come with that. They don't, I mean, they have electricity, but unfortunately those cables, they don't have it underground. I guess they're gonna start putting those undergrounds when they're gonna have, wow, that's a weird hole in your fence. When they're gonna have like a really nice pavement and they're gonna start going in that direction. I mean, look at the garbage here. Just who lives like this? Absolutely insane. Okay, what else we have here? Well, doesn't look that great, unfortunately for them. Again, bars on the windows there, on the doors. It just shows a very low trust civilization. What else we have here? We have this guy on the... I don't know, everybody feels like they have to touch a car when they drive right next to them. It's kind of weird, but okay. That's a nice gold here, I guess it is. It does look bad. I mean, you'll be really pissed if you're living in a place like this. I mean, yeah. Okay, the garbage here is just... I mean, the garbage, I have something to say against it because it's kind of such a small thing that you can improve very easily and quickly, and they still don't do it. So that shows that they have a few thousands of years left until they're gonna civilize, no matter where the timeline that they live it is. So yeah, wow, look at this rust. How this one's still working? So they prepare to pave the road here, I guess. I'm not sure. Seems like that. Or they pave it somewhere else, I don't know. But yeah, it's not exactly as civilized when you see, look at this garbage everywhere. I can excuse that they don't have pavement yet, but what I don't like it's the garbage, the unfinished buildings or whatever happened here, those fences, also like I say, a waste of material, and the cables. If they didn't have that and they have everything clean, no cables visible and no fences with the nice houses, even small ones, that would be like, with a big lens, that would be like a really, really good start. So from that one, I mean, like, if you have that, you could, like, in 5 years, you can have a tremendous change there, like a really good start would be like that. And then in 5 years, you're going to have like a really nice condition to live, not just for Africa, but pretty much for the entire world, which is quite something to say. Yeah, the road is freshly paved here, obviously, but it looks great. I mean, yeah, no alignment, but still, I can excuse that here. It doesn't have that many cars, as you can see. Let's check them further south. Let's check this road. I mean, so far it's not so bad, and with a few things, like I said, when you go into the urban areas, yeah, we're running into problems immediately, but it's, let's say, manageable, but not a place that I would like to live. Here doesn't look so bad. Although, again, no paved roads, no nothing like that. I'm not sure exactly why they make those roads. Probably they have a lot of those. Not just this one, but this one they cut their eyes, I guess. Let's check how those people live here. Yeah, again, the garbage. I mean, you cannot blame the government for that. 100% you cannot. I will not blame the government. It doesn't matter where you are for living in a garbage area like that. And I mean, look at this. I prefer to see them living in a house like this with big lands, clean roads, clean yards, and no electrical cable visible, then whatever we saw a bit earlier. It's just not a good start. Not at all. It's better. I think it's better. Look at this. I think it's better than whatever they had. Here they have some sort of the modern area that you can see they're jamming everyone together, which is not a good place to start. I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna improve that, but yeah, I have a feeling that they're not gonna improve it no matter what. Good lines here, great roads, nice space to pull over. I mean, it's great. I'm not mind about those cables. It's not in the residential area. It's pretty much on the highways. But yeah, I would like to see them buried. I think it's gonna be even cheaper with time because look at this. You don't have to pay for those poles. Yeah, you have reliable cables, I guess, and buried in the ground. Not that much trouble. Maybe with time, we will see. Let's go now in a more urban area. Let's go here. Let's go right here. Randomly on the map, let's see. Not exactly an urban area, but... Wow, look at the mud here. That's not easy. But it looks nice. I don't think it's mud, it's pretty dry. But when it rains, clearly it's mud here. Doesn't look so bad, but look at how many trails this guy made here. Wow. He took every single road here to try it. Good for him, I guess. Again, the problem with the garbage, just how they can live like this, it's insane. Yeah, they don't dress that well, I have to say. And we saw again in other poverty countries that at least they dressed pretty nicely. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing with these fences. Just a ton of material and very bad aesthetic, I would say. They have a tree here, which is nice. But anything else, yeah, not looking so great. Wow. I mean, I see the potential, but wanna see those paths here. This guy make every single path of this one, so that's probably the most the most well done street views in not so important urban area, let's call it like that. But yeah, good for that guy, I guess. They have a well here, they have the water, which is pretty good. Again, the garbage everywhere, that bothers me a lot. The fences that they don't end, and they look at this, how much materials they use to build a fence, and I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna enter here. Have some sort of a sand here, sandbox. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna civilize those people sooner than 2000 years. I don't think so. Can you imagine in a few, I don't know, maybe in 2, maybe 3 decades, we're gonna see like those new S-Class that they release right now on the factory. They're gonna see them here in the shadow of the tree. It'd be interesting, or maybe never, who knows, maybe because they break all the time and they're much more expensive to, maybe, who knows, maybe they get around that. They're just gonna jump with a new engine and just gonna keep the chassis. They love the seats, they love the shape of the car. That's it. I can see them doing that. So yeah, I can think they have the knowledge to swap an engine very easily and electronics. Wow, a lot of people there. Yeah, let's go in a really urban area. Let's see how they're doing there. So we're gonna start here. Let's see how they're doing here. So far, to be honest, it's not that bad. It's kind of what I expected, but again, it's not gonna be a place that you wanna live. So 100% that. Looking for the bars on the windows. I don't see it yet, so it's pretty good sign at least. One of those huge problems. That pretty much any kind. Oh, okay, they have some bars here. Okay, so maybe it's not that safe. And another bars here. Yeah, I mean, even in the West we have fences and bars on the windows in some cases, so not exactly, but here it's a bit different. Let's call it like that. That's a nice paved road. They have a Shell gas station here. They're looking pretty nice. I mean, the gas station looks nicer than any house we've seen so far. A simple one, architecture with nice floor-to-ceiling windows, which is pretty good. Usually glass is cheap. It's much cheaper than, I don't know, bricks, at least here in Europe. So, yeah, I could see, especially in the warm environment, you can build with more glass. Wow, this guy is almost gonna get hit here. Cars, this is 2022, and some of them not so well, but some of them pretty decent in the same time. Those are expensive ones. Not exactly the worst. This is 2022 again, that the change in the environment. I mean, looking pretty bad. Not a place that you wanna thrive, at least. I don't think you can. And that's pretty much in the middle of the city, so let's go in the most rich areas, I guess. We have more trees here, so probably gonna look a bit better, but not by much. Wow, that's pretty bad. Oh, there's building something here. They're building with those empty bricks. Oh, look how many people are here. How fast they can build a house here. At least they should have that advantage, you know. Okay, it's a low economy, it's cheap labor and all that, and not so great materials, but they at least should build very fast and not those ugly apartments, which is kind of a sad. But okay, this is 2015. Okay, they have a building there. They have something going on in here. Not exactly know exactly what's happening. This is 2021. They raised that building, as you can see, pretty fast. Wow, that's an expensive car here, and that's a nice cat. From 2020, even I cannot afford a car like this. Not even a car like that I can afford. So I guess I am poorer than those guys here. Parts on the windows, we saw them. Roads not so bad, but in the same time not so great either. Let's see what else can we find here. Rich areas, can we find rich areas? Oh, I'm not sure. Let me go outside this map. I mean, usually it's green. But, I don't know. Have some sort of a base here. I don't know if they have rich. Where is the airport? Don't have the airport? What's happening here? Oh, looks like a dump ground. Let's check this one. Not sure exactly if I can. Oh, this one. Yeah, let's see what's going on with those. Wow. This is how they burn the trash, so you can imagine the smell there. Absolutely insane. You don't even have to burn the trash. Now you can just bury them and extract the gas, so we can use to make energy. Wow. Ooh, what the fuck? It's spilling out, for God's sake. It's looking like a war zone, to be honest. It does look bad. Let me go again. It does look bad. Really bad. How someone can live like that? Yeah, I don't think they're living anymore, so... Let's go here on the coastline, I guess. We're gonna have a bit more luck with the... No, not 360 even here. Let's check this road. Yeah, pretty good infrastructure then, and the beach doesn't look so bad. A lot of dust here in the air. Didn't catch a good day, so let's check this 360 on the beach. That's, I wanna see it. Okay, pretty wide beach. Not sure exactly what they're selling here, but okay. Wow, look at those buildings. Not so great. Nah, it looks like a war zone in some cases, I have to say. It does look like, look at the airport. But I don't find the green here that easy, at least. Maybe here, no. Yeah, rich areas, not so easy to find. Wow, look at those. We can have streets. At least we have a lot of street views, which is good. We actually can see something. That's an expensive car, by the way. Yeah. Wow. There are not that many people compared with other countries we see, but somehow they feel much more. I mean, everywhere we go, it's someone. Someone selling here, selling some shoes. Here you have a goat on the loose, two of them actually. Wow. A lot going on in here. How are they gonna improve? I'm curious, what is the average monthly income here? Or the minimum at least. I'm a bit curious. Another nationalist flag here, very good. Yeah. Doesn't look so well, I have to say. Doesn't look so well. Let's check. Okay, I think we see quite enough how they live. Again, the same rule applies even here. Better to live outside the cities in a small community than those one. Basically, even the government at some point they're gonna realize that and they're gonna start to invest more money in the small ones, because you're gonna see a really improvement much faster in those small ones than you're gonna see in the big ones. And that at least we have something to brag, or at least we have a blueprint how they're supposed to do things. I guess that could be a win. Wow. It's a really small street, but they have expensive car on. Look at this BMW here, Ford here. They are expensive cars. So they are not that poor after all. Hyundai, they don't do so bad. From what I can see, they don't do that bad. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Yeah, the local architecture and the maintaining of them doesn't look so great, but quite a few people, they're doing pretty decent. Wow, look at this, an Audi. That's a Q7, or no, it's a Q5, I'm not sure. Expensive, and this is 2023. They doing pretty decent with cars. That's a huge Toyota. We don't even have it here. Yeah, I think we see enough. Not so bad, to be honest, but in the same time, not a place I want to live. So I guess, yeah, that's kind of tells you everything you need to know. Let's go with the numbers. 19 million people and rising. But look at this. Back in 1955, only 2.9 million people live here. So can you imagine if they have only 2.9 million even today, how that radical it will change the way they live? Yearly change around 2.6%. That would be roughly 70,000 people net increase. Migration around 8,000 on plus. Median age 17 years old. Fertility rate 6.8. At some point was above 7.3, I guess, around 7.3, which is a lot. Density 15 people per square kilometer, which is a lot. Urban population 19%. And that will be roughly almost a bit more than 500,000 people to manage, which is absolutely a monumental task for 1955. Even for today, it's gonna be insane. Now, fast forward to 2025, population grew tremendously. Now there are around 19 million people and rising with 2.3% increase rate. Roughly will be almost 500,000 people net increase, but now the people leaving the country, around 12,000 of them decided to leave, and they have that minus since 2023, so I guess sounds recently, but they have some minus even back then, much deeper. So yeah, median age right now it's almost 20, so not that older. Fertility rate it's 3.7, still a huge amount of one, but you know, they got down from 7.2, 7.3, so I guess it's not that worst. Density now is 98 people per square kilometer, which is a huge amount. 52% living in an urban area. That'll be roughly around 10 million people to manage. Yeah, good luck with that. By 2050, population is going to be around 30 million people. So they're going to see they multiplied themselves in pretty much in the last 100 years 10 times X, which is insane. 1.5% increase rate with roughly again around almost 500,000 people increase rate. Migration minus 23,000, so you can guess where those 23,000 are going to end up. Probably in Europe, most likely. Median age 25 years old, so they get older. Fertility rate 2.8. Still they go down, which is pretty good, but still way above the replacement rate. Density it's 158 people per square kilometers, which is insane. Urban population is 72%, and now they have to manage 21 million people, so more than double than they have to do today. So yeah, they're not gonna do it that well. Life expectancy here it's extremely high. It's almost 70 years old for both sexes. Females 71 and males 67, which is a lot, and you can see it's still increasing. Infant mortality is 22.3 and death at the age of 5 around 33. Pretty big numbers, but for Africa it's average, and they're gonna see they're trending down, so not that much of the issue. Pyramid, as you can see, rock solid base. Ever is gonna be that solid they're ever gonna have. A small increase in male surplus population, but then by the age of, let's say, 24 until the last one, they're gonna have a female surplus. So I assuming those migrants here that are pretty much predominantly males that are leaving the country, and they left the females behind. But the pyramid is pretty based, so I don't think you're gonna see any changes in that. Economic, let's see how well they're doing in economic. Doesn't look so bad, the country, especially the roads look pretty decent when they have it. So let's see it. GDP 34 billion US dollars and PPP around 105 billion US dollars, which is extremely low, especially for such a huge population. Growing rate is 4.3, 6.7, 8.4, 4.1. So yeah, the forecast doesn't look great, especially for the last two. Just pretty much go in half next year in the growth and economics. But still, they're extremely low numbers for such a small economy with the population increasing. It's not that great. Agriculture, it's almost 17%. Industry 24 and services 58. Those are 2017 numbers. Inflation in 2021 was 2.2%, which is not bad. But again, any type of inflation, it's bad. I don't care what they say. I don't care they say they motivates or whatever they motivates growth. Any type of inflation, it's bad, period. What else can we find here? Let's go with the corruption. Okay, corruption in Senegal. Ooh, really juicy one. Again, it's an African country, and to be honest, what we see even here in Europe going up and up, not much you can have the high moral ground in, to be honest, but it is corruption, you know. It's never good. Senegal 45 points, and they go up 1 point, which is good. 45 points is not exactly so bad. I think it's less than my country. So they are still perceived as a more corrupt country, but very close to seeing to look at them as less corrupt country. And I believe like probably the next century you're gonna see them, hopefully, an entire world seem as a less corrupt country and less corrupt continent and less corrupt world. But I don't know. We will see about that. What else can we say about them? Well, the capital, it's Dakar, which it sounds very nice. They speak French, so clearly there was at some point a French colony or a French influence. They have 97% of them that are Islam and only 2.7% Christians. What else? They have, like, look at this, those colonial pictures. Pretty good. Not sure exactly, this is like a combination with Mali, yeah, the short-lived Mali Federation. They have the people here. They have, again, Vladimir Putin used to be like in all of those that we check so far in the African countries, especially in the north one. So clearly they have some sort of an influence in African countries. That's some sort of a communist monument, to be honest. It looks like that. Yeah, the roads we see them is pretty good. I can confirm that when they have it. Doesn't look so bad. Yeah, nice beach here. Yeah, in the city, not exactly a big fan, but fine, I guess, whatever. This is the network highway that they have. This is the agricultural sector, probably. Those are nice boats. They painting very nicely. This is like energy, fossil, hydro, and other renewable. Yeah, they're very low, but we will see. With time, that's some sort of a crowd market. Yeah, this housing crisis. This is how a crisis looks like usually. So yeah, I believe I respect this one. Look at it, they have a clear beach here. Not, you can see in the further distance, they didn't expect it. But here they have like a pretty wide beach, which is nice. They say we're not gonna be able to build that much closer, which is good for them. What else? We have some sort of a leaders there. I'm not sure. They have some sort of a education system. Everybody kind of jamming together in those. They jamming where they live. They're jamming in the school. So yeah, that's not a good sign. Oh, they have some sort of a sports here, like a Roman fights or something like that, and a football team. Okay. What else can we say about them? I think they have a young president, which is good, and the corruption seems to be on the low end of more corrupt perceived. So probably like by, who knows, maybe by the middle of the century, they're gonna see them in the less corrupt countries and with actually pretty, I would say, pretty good amount. I'm not sure if they're gonna see them in blue line, but if they do go in a blue line, let's say 70 to 79 points, wow, that would be a really achievement for them. That would be like, you can see a really nice path. Otherwise, yeah, population is still growing quite a lot and doesn't seem crazy. Not even in 2050 when they're gonna be over 30 million people, they still are above 1.5% increase rate, which is insane. But we will see how well they're doing. They have a already really high life expectancy, which it's not gonna help them that much in the future. But yeah, we will see. Young people, like kids and old people, always are the burden on the economy. And if you don't play that card right, and if you don't play it in exactly right time, you don't have that timing perfectly, you can lose everything. And I do mean everything. So yeah, It's not gonna be easy. So that was the video about Senegal. Check the other videos that I make and see you next time.